Hi everybody, I'm Ryan, and today we're going to look at flex slots and different builds of mono red aggro. So let's start with the non-flex slots. These are the cards that pretty much are non-negotiable in the current builds of mono red aggro. You will notice that there are only 3 non-flex slots in the main deck, which are all lands actually, and 6 non-flex slots in the sideboard. So frankly, the deck is pretty figured out, which is kind of exciting. And also I don't really know why I'm doing this video. It's mostly a sideboard video, but it's still important to talk about. So what do we play in those 3 slots in the main deck and those 9 slots in the sideboard? Well, these are our options. In the main deck, you can play any combination of 3 more mountains or 3 Soulstone Sanctuary. Now, the reason you would play the mountains is to just have better colors. Having too many colorless lands can be kind of scary, especially since Rockface Village is colorless for non-creatures. You will, if you play Soulstone Sanctuary, you will inevitably get some hands where you can't really cast your spells, which is really scary. But Soulstone Sanctuary, being a man land, is very, very good and can kind of finish out the game. So some are playing like 1 Soulstone Sanctuary, 2 mountains. Some are playing the opposite. Some are playing 3 Soulstone Sanctuary. Some are playing just the 3 mountains and 0 Soulstone Sanctuary. But that's the first decision you need to make, and that's your only decision in the main deck. As far as the sideboard goes, it gets a little more complicated. So you're going to be picking 9 of these 20 cards in the sideboard. You'd play Lithomanic Barrage. It's mostly for the Dimir decks. Also really decent against the new Azorius Convoke deck and whatnot. Tectonic Hazard being really good against the 2 Convoke decks as well. Torch the Tower, mostly for aggression, like dealing with that aggression. Obliterating Bolt, also decent against the aggressive decks, but mostly for the enduring cards and the blue enduring card, Enduring Curiosity, in like the Dimir deck and the Azorius deck. Case of the Crimson Pulse is a case that when it enters, you discard a card, then draw 2 cards. And if you have no cards in hand, it's solved. And at the end of your upkeep, you discard a hand and draw 2 cards. This is really good against decks that are really good at answering what we're attempting to do, and you expect the game to go very long. And so it's an opportunity to totally outcard your opponent. Twisted Fealties, gain control of target creature until end of turn, and tap that creature, gains haste until end of turn, and then put a Wicked Roll token attached up to 1 target creature. This card's really good against decks that play a bunch of big creatures, something in like Domain and stuff like that. Urbrass Forge fulfills a similar role as Case of the Crimson Pulse. It's for decks that you expect to go very, very long against and are very good at answering our initial plan, because the longer the game goes with Urbrass Forge on the battlefield, the more threatening it is and creates inevitability that's really hard for your opponent to deal with. Sunspine Links, 4 mana, 5/4 elemental cat. Players can't gain life, damage can't be prevented, and when Sunspine Links enters, it deals damage to each player equal to the number of non-basic lands that player controls. So this is very good against decks that are greedy with their mana base, so 3+ color decks, but also really good against decks whose plan is to gain life. And then Ghost Vacuum is decent graveyard hate and is also very good against the blue enduring card, because it touches the graveyard before it comes back, and so you can actually kill the blue enduring card and be able to get rid of it forever. So it's 1 mana, tap it to exile target card from a graveyard, and 6 mana to put each creature card exiled with Ghost Vacuum onto the battlefield under your control, with a flying counter on it, and each of them is a 1/1 spirit in addition to its other types. Activate only as a sorcery. The issue with Ghost Vacuum is it doesn't really work towards our initial plan of like getting blockers out of the way or just dealing more damage. So you'd really only want to play this card if you really, really think you need graveyard hate. But you're going to be selecting 9 of these 20 cards and 3 of these 6 cards to add to your non-flex slots main deck. And then you have, and then you have created your very own but stock mono red aggro list. So I realized that was a shorter flex slots video than my other flex slots videos. But frankly, again, the deck's figured out, and that's okay. So if you like this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. Check me out on social medias. Links are above me and in the description. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.